We got the Philadelphia Eagles living in the cellar of the NFC East last season. What a season for the Eagles. It was rough if you're a Philly fan. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Carson Wentz, he's gone. Jalen Hurts is in. The team is committing to Jalen Hurts. They did not draft another quarterback in this upcoming draft. They didn't sign anyone or maybe they may have signed. Brissett's on the Dolphins. I'm not sure if they actually signed anybody, to be honest.
No one that could challenge Hurts. I think they did sign one, but I don't think it's anyone. Yeah.
It's gonna bother me. It's really gonna bother me now. I think they did sign somebody because I want to say they were. Who was it? Oh, this is really gonna bother me. All right, we're looking it up. Joe Flacco.
That's it.
Joe Flacco. Super Bowl MVP, Joe Flacco.
How is he still playing in this league?
Hey, somebody loves his checkdowns. All right, what do we think of Jalen Hurts? Was he a mirage last year, or is he for real in fantasy football?
I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's for real. I think he could possibly finish as a top 12 quarterback this year.
Really?
I would love to pick a safer quarterback and then stack it with Jalen Hurts, grabbing him maybe in those last couple picks because I think his ceiling's extremely high. He can run, and that's great for fantasy football. And we saw him string together a couple of fantasy relevant games last year. So I love Jalen Hurts.
I'd like him a lot. But I think you're right when he has a very high ceiling with the rushing ability and now with new weapons there. But I think he also has kind of a low floor, because we saw teams be able to stop him on the ground and wasn't able to get a whole lot going through the air. Now, it's kind of been a knock on Jalen Hurts since college, is he's not a great passer. He's still a very capable passer. But, I think a lot of it was due to Philly didn't have a lot of weapons. And now they bring in a first-round pick, DeVonta Smith. I think that's going to do wonders for Jalen. As the days go by, I'm warming up more and more to Jalen as a very tantalizing fantasy option. So speaking of running, let's talk about running backs. Miles Sanders was somewhat of an enigma last year. What do you think of the Colonel Sanders?
I think he is good. I think he had a fairly good season last year. With Jalen Hurts, I think that opens up some running lanes for Miles Sanders. And Miles Sanders was doing pretty well with no offensive line. Pretty poor. And the wide receivers are awful, so it kind of had to go through Miles Sanders. And I think he did the best he could in the situation. I think the team's only gotten better. I think this will help him out this year. I'm not worried about Jordan Howard or Kerryon Johnson. I don't know. I feel like we've seen what they can do in the NFL, and it's Miles Sanders isn't going to lose his job. Yeah.
It's not great, but I love the talent of Miles Sanders. I think he's a very talented guy. He's only been in the league for just a couple of seasons. And, last year, I feel like there could have been, I just wish there was more for Miles Sanders. Now, he missed some time with, I think, some injuries. And, so in college, he backed up Saquon, right? And Saquon came out the NFL. Everybody adored his profile. I didn't think Miles Sanders was that far off from Saquon in terms of ability and talent.
Yeah.
But we just haven't really seen it come to fruition. Now, I think with Hurts behind center, Sanders gets, there could be a lot more RPO going on, which would work well. But you're right. The offensive line was pretty atrocious. There was not really any other weapons to get the ball to, so it kind of had to run a little bit through Miles Sanders. I think the offensive line is going to get healthy this offseason. I think Sanders is better than people think, but I'm still a little worried. Would you? I don't know. Would you take him in 3rd round, 4th round, Miles Sanders?
Yeah, I think I would. I feel happy with that decision.
I think I would too, but I'm also, he could be going around like Josh Jacobs, for an example. I think I'd rather have Jacobs.
I think what we think here is I'd be okay with having him, but there's better options going around at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Let's do we need to talk a little bit about Jordan Howard or carry on? I think you summed it up.
I'm not interested.
I'm not. Yeah. Gainwell could be, a 3rd down back, possibly. But we don't have to go over him. Let's talk wide receivers. The new name, the new man on the block, probably our favorite wide receiver this season, DeVonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, incredibly talented, incredibly small. What do we think is going to happen with DeVonta?
Joey, we love this guy. When we were doing our mock draft last week, I think we were both extremely happy with where we got him.
Absolutely.
What was it, like round 10?
Yeah, we got him double-digit round. Incredible.
This is the guy who could be the wide receiver 1 for the Eagles. And when we saw it at Alabama, they're trying to cover him every play, and you know he's going to get the ball. He still finds a way to get open. Very similar to Devontae Adams. I don't think he's that level yet, but that's where he could be. And I think he could definitely finish as a wide receiver 1 this season.
That is quite the fantasy comp right there. Devontae Adams and DeVonta Smith. I could see in a range of outcomes where he, a few years down the road, he becomes the next possible Devontae Adams.
Right.
You're absolutely right. He should be the wide receiver 1 on this team. He is the brand new toy for Jalen Hurts to throw the ball to. And, a lot of people say, well, he's on Alabama and he's on a great team. That's a lot of stuff talks about Mac Jones as well. We'll get into that when we get to the AFC East. But DeVonta Smith's going up against top-tier competition in the SEC. He played a full SEC only schedule last year, played against the best teams, the best cornerbacks, and he had an incredible year. I think, 10th round, if you can get DeVonta Smith right there, his ADP is so low right now. Oh, man, definitely. We love DeVonta Smith. We definitely do.
I do think he goes up as we get closer to the season.
You're right. He won't be a 10th round guy. But
I don't know. Maybe we're the only 2 people in the world who like DeVonta Smith this much, and we'll be the only 2 people winning our fantasy leagues.
God, I'd hope so. All right, Jalen Reagor. Do we see a year 2 resurgence for Jalen Reagor?
I don't like any other wide receiver on Philly. I don't think Jalen Hurts has it in him to have that passing capacity to where all these wide receivers can have good fantasy games. I think it's just going to be DeVonta Smith and Goddard who get the ball.
Yeah, we can move on to Goddard. But real quick, I think best case scenario for Jalen Reagor is last year Corey Davis.
Okay, yeah.
But that was with very, very efficient passing from Ryan Tannehill and efficient performance from that offense overall. I don't know if we see that with Jalen Reagor, but I'm hoping for something like that. Would you take a flyer on him late round?
Not me. There's other guys I'd rather take the rest chance on.
I think you're right there. So let's talk about Dallas Goedert a little bit. Dallas Goedert, however we say his name.
Yeah, I don't know. How do we say his damn name?
Dallas, if you're listening, tell us how to say your last name.
I like him. He's one of those few fantasy tight ends who are pretty reliable. I think he finishes as a top 12 tight end.
Yeah, he's got to. He's that that next tier down from Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, Hawkinson, Andrews. After them, then you're looking at Tyler Higbee, Dallas Goedert. Can't think of other names, but Dallas Goedert's up there. He's a consistent tight end, like you said, and he was probably the number 1 option while last year. because they didn't have had no receivers.
No help.
Now, do we think Zach Ertz has Zach Ertz is still on the team as of yet, but rumors are he's going to get traded. Do we see any destinations for Zach Ertz, possibly?
I'm trying to think who needs a tight end. I don't know.
You know, I've seen Kansas City has been linked to him.
Be interesting.
That would that would be incredible. Yeah. Do they need him? Probably not, but you know, why not? If you got the space.
Why the hell not?
Exactly. Whoa, language.
Him and Julio Jones.
Yeah,
Who else? Not? Who else is still
Let's just
outstanding?
send every other free agent that's available. Go to Kansas City for fantasy
football. Any good player
purposes.
to ever play the game, just hop on over to Kansas City.
That's right. We don't need to talk about Philly's defense, do we? They were pretty terrible last year.
Only thing I'll say is it seems like the Philadelphia Eagles always have a scoring defense where they'll have those random games where they score touchdowns. Streaming, I think, is where you're going with the Eagles.
Yeah, they're a matchup-based play.